So to start a little bit about me, I'm originally from Mexico. I've been here in the UK for around 10 years. And I had the luck of working in some really good agencies around London. One was ustwo, a digital product studio, and that's where I got in touch with loads of really good design methodologies and process. And especially that's where I kind of like started working on discovery. We used to have clients that would come to us with a product idea and they would ask us to validate if it was like a good business kind of like way to try, or we will come, we'll have like brands that will approach us and say we want to see how does the user experience for autonomous cars for vision impaired people work. So it was like being exposed to these like big open-ended briefs and white canvases that made me really fascinated with discovery. Right now I am working at Beryl. We are a startup that works with cycling. One of the joys of working in startup land is you have to chip in on all the activities, including creating your own comms work, as you see here. So a little bit more about us. So we are a startup that came up with the idea of trying to make cycling safer. So our CEO, Emily, came up with this brilliant idea of the laser light. I'm sure many of you have seen it in the streets in London. Is this better? Or this better? This one, okay. It even sounds different here. And it's basically just, like a bike light that projects this little bike icon in front of you and makes you visible, where otherwise other cars or other buses or even pedestrians wouldn't be able to see you. So nowadays the company has expanded and we have a new team, which is the bike share team, the one I'm working on. And we are pretty much trying to build up like the best bike share platform for cities and for people. And this is where our discovery and delivery process comes in. So when we talk about discovery, well, actually, one step back. When we talk about creating digital products, even though it's not only limited to digital products, we actually had to, in the office, we actually have to have this discovery session around bikes and physical bikes, and I realized that a lot of the methodologies that we use with digital products actually work with physical products too, which is quite an interesting experiment to have. But basically, what discovery is about is kind of trying to find the real reasons on why some users will use your product. Try to unveil what is the right problem that you're trying to solve and try to find the real solution to solve that problem. So a good metaphor is like the 5 whys testing techniques. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, which is basically you are interviewing a participant and you are asking why he decided to make something or use something. He'll give you an answer, he or she will give you an answer, and then you'll ask why again, another answer, you'll ask why again, and then everything starts getting a bit funny. Like they're just looking at you like, why are you asking me so many whys? But really it's until you get to the 5th why, that's when you really start uncovering like the main motivations that they have to do whatever you were asking about. And I think discovery is pretty similar to that. It's actually taking the time to dig really deep into what are the jobs the users are trying to get solved with your project, with your product, the obstacles they're trying to overcome, but more than anything, the gains that they're trying to achieve, and is really trying to find more than just the expected gains, because those are pretty easy to find. It's just trying to find those really unexpected and surprising gains, but then kind of like gives you the big idea. So yeah, discovery is kind of like that. So you're trying to look at the problem from lots of different angles, that's from different steps on the user journeys, and it may be as well like from the different contexts that the users are on, because you may find that some users may be, they may have one attitude when they are in one context. So for example, if you are a parent, you will have specific attitudes when you are with your kids, but then you'll have maybe specific attitudes when you are at work. So being able to understand that multifaceted way of behaving of our users or our humans is what is important. The other thing that is really important to understand is that discovery is a somehow uncomfortable process, because you may find that you don't have a really regular cadence as you would do when you're in the delivery phase. You're actually maybe spending a lot of time coming up with ideas, and you may find out that those ideas are actually rubbish and you need to throw them away. But the truth is they're never rubbish, because learning that something is not the right thing to move on is actually a really big learning. You may find as well that other ideas are really good, but it's not the right time to build them. So you maybe will be doing some prioritization with your team, and you'll find out that this is a great idea, but it's not for now, and then you'll need to put it on the icebox, and then hopefully bring it back to life later on when it's the right time. And then you'll also discover that you'll come up with really good ideas, and those are the ones that you want to move forward with. And that's what brings us to the delivery. But anyway, the delivery piece is like the easy one, because I think it's the one that we're more familiar with. This is where like all the cycles are a bit more steady and more predictable. This is where you kind of find out what's the right problem, what's the right solution. You've tested loads of assumptions, you've tested loads of hypotheses, and you have a clear direction as a team or where you want to get. So this is kind of like the one that is more familiar for us, and definitely the one that you're focusing on just building the right thing in the best possible way. Last year I went to this course, like product ownership course by the two kind of like big Jeffs, Jeff Goffel and Jeff Pathon, and this phrase came up, and it was basically talking about how, you know, some products out there are not great products, and the majority of them are just like all right products. But if you actually want to create a product that is really good, that is really awesome, you really need to spend time in discovery to make sure that you hit that sweet spot. Take a bit of water. So the way that we're doing it at Beryl is kind of like really trying to understand like the industry landscape that we're working on. It's actually quite a busy landscape. So for example, we have the traditional bike share schemes that kind of like, it's really funny when you start talking to people and nobody's referring to the Santander bikes as the Santander bikes. Everybody just keeps talking about them like the boys' bikes. And this image I think is quite representative because they are somehow a little bit old school. Like they are really wasting the opportunities that technology gives us nowadays. It's a scheme that is really expensive and therefore it's really difficult to scale. And therefore like these bikes maybe are not reaching the areas that may be needing them a bit more. So we're trying to come up with a solution that basically approaches bike share from a completely different way. We're also trying to be different from the Asian model. So you may have seen these yellow bikes floating around on some of the orange and silver ones. I don't know if any of you have seen them around or used them. So for example, their model is quite different to the Santander one, because they basically prioritize profit over quality. So they tend to have bikes that are really cheap, and for them, if a bike is on the streets for X amount of months or X amount of journeys, then that means they've done profit, and then that bike can get taken off the streets, and then you can bring some new ones in. And actually that's kind of like not fair with the environment because you create a lot of waste, but it's also not fair with the user because the experience that they are giving is not great. Then we have a third model. As I said, this is a really busy space, which is a little bit more the American one. So the American, there's lots of startups in America, in the United States, that are kind of like tackling micromobility, especially because the US has loads of like public transport issues. So this has been like hugely successful in the US, and there are lots of startups using technology in the right way to create really innovative products. They are using micro vehicles that are really good quality, and they may be e-scooters, bikes, even little motorcycles. But I think the bit that they got wrong is they forgot to collaborate with the cities, so they forgot to actually work together with cities to provide like a great service, not only for the people, but for the cities. And this tweet is really good because it kind of compares Beryl, which is one of the startups out there, with the Alfred Hitchcock's birds, kind of like how they descended into a city and they created this crazy chaos. And so that's some of the things that we're trying to get right as well, like make sure that all the data that our bikes are going to be creating, we can hand it over to the authorities, and then they can create really good cycling infrastructure based on this data. This is a diagram of our platform. So we have obviously a smart bike in the center. We have our mobile app that is used by the riders. We have the cloud that connects everybody and all these items or these pieces of the puzzle. And then we have the dashboard. And that dashboard is going to be accessed by us, like the team that are building this, but also the operators, which are the people that are going to help us manage our scheme when it's out there in the streets. And also, as I was saying, authorities, which will be accessing a lot of our data to put in good use. So what I found in Beryl is that we've been really good at getting in touch with the riders, and we've done like loads of different research sessions. We've achieved a really good cadence. So we are kind of like meeting with users once a month, which for the team size that we have is actually pretty good. We've done loads of learnings, and it's actually quite interesting to see how our thinking as a business has shifted so much in 6 months based on all the research and interviews that we've done with writers. But the bit that we've struggled a little bit to do discovery on is with authorities and operators, because obviously these people are harder to reach. So you know, when you kind of not access customers to do discovery, and you cannot kind of do a lot of the exercises that we do, because the thing with discovery and a lot of the methodologies is you do a lot of assumptions, and to test those assumptions, you need to reach the real users. So what happens when you don't have those real users? And this is kind of what we are using. So an approach of releasing to learn. There's also on the counter side, releasing to earn. And what this means is it's kind of like steering away of terminology, so steering away of minimum viable products or minimum lovable products or alphas and betas. It's just kind of focusing on what you are releasing and what are your objectives when you release something. So for example, in our case, I'm going to skip a little bit forward. I'll come back. But basically, we had the opportunity to launch our first MVP bike share. And it's really funny, when I tweeted that we are launching our MVP bike, a friend kind of replied like, are you testing brakes? And I was like, no, we're only testing gears for now, we only want to learn about gears. But anyway, we were really lucky. We work in a small community called Perseverance Works on Hackney Road, and there are around 60 offices with maybe 300 people. So basically what we did is we put 5 bikes there in the community for everybody to use. They are completely free to use, and all we want is actually to test and to learn how robust our platform is. So it's these things that, you know, like, if you don't put them out in the street, you'll never learn these things. So it's been actually really great to be able to do this. And by putting these bikes out there, we actually realized, you know, what are the things that aren't working in our platform, what are the problems the users are having. But more than anything, we learned how hard it is to keep these bikes in a good condition, so that kind of like operations side of things. So making sure that the bikes are always working, that they have enough battery, that they have enough power to do all the smart things that the bike does has been one of the biggest learnings. And we wouldn't have learning if we have kind of like waited to get our platform to a specific point before releasing it. So whenever you want to learn something and you haven't been able to test it, then just literally put it out there and see what happens. After this MVP, we are now launching a slightly bigger one, and this is with the Council of Enfield. So we are going from 5 bikes in one location to having 15 bikes in 5 different locations. So small steps. But the bit that we are really trying to learn now is, in terms of distribution of bikes, how does that even work? Like, will users be leaving the bikes where they need to? Will they be leaving them in different places? And we've kind of fixed the bits of the platform that were not working, so now we're going to see if the fixes that we've done have actually solved the problem or not. So we're still pretty much in that release to learn mode. So if I go back to this one, which is the release to earn, and this slide, by the way, is by Jeff Patton, again, because you're all in this talk. But yeah, this is kind of like when you're in a different situation. This is when you need to release something that is good up to a specific level of quality for you to be able to test some specific business outcomes. So for example, for us, we know that we need to be putting our bikes out and have like a proper public launch in spring, because we need to prove to all kind of like we need to make our space within all these competitors. As I said, this is a really busy industry, so we kind of need to make our mark before it's too late. But what is interesting from this approach is we will be putting our bikes out there to achieve a business outcome, but different pieces of our platform will be in different levels of maturity. And this is still quite interesting, because while some of the products will be in a more mature space and we will be quite steady, we know especially the ones that have to do with operations are going to be pretty green, and it's going to still be pretty experimental. But we still think it's like the right thing to do, because we need to kind of like hit that business outcome. And this is a little bit like the timeline I was talking about. So we're definitely releasing to learn, this summer and this autumn, and next year is really all about releasing to earning. But this is really important to remember, and I think it becomes very tangible when you talk about these releases is that all this discovery work and delivery work comes hand by hand, so you need to have one unified team to be able to make these things a reality. So when you think about discovery and delivery, you need to remember that there are two different types of work, but it shouldn't be done by two different teams. And another Jeff Patton slide. So this is what it's normally called the dual track, and it's when you actually are trying to balance the right level of discovery and delivery to keep you going. So we've been trying that, and we're having some really good learnings. The biggest learning that we had is the fear of feeding the beast. And this is because, as I was saying, like delivery gets really uneasy, and it has like different cycles, different speeds, different results, while delivery is much more steady and is much more predictable. So it may be that while we're trying to sort out what is the right thing that you should be building, when you look at things as if they were like different teams, your development team is going to be thinking like, what am I going to build then? And when you're looking at a roadmap and you're kind of like keeping an eye on resources and timelines and so on, this can get super stressful. So you kind of like have this pressure of like, we need to feed the machine of building stuff. And that's really important then to remember that you should not fall in this trap. And if you're working in an integrated team that actually is doing both discovery and delivery together, then you will really avoid falling in this trap. The other thing that has worked really well for us is including discovery in our roadmap and making sure that we're keeping our roadmap really, really lean. This is our roadmap, by the way. We need to do all this stuff by our public launch in next spring. And when you look at it, and if you're used to look at roadmaps in the more traditional sense, when it's just a big timeline full with features mapped to it, you will just think like, what's going on here? Scary. But basically, we've worked really hard on keeping our roadmap really lean. So we're only listing problems and objectives we want to look into. We're really careful of never listing features because we don't know what we're building yet. So we want to make sure that every story or every epic, even if it's really small or really big, we are approaching it always with a mindset of we need to do some discovery first, and once we know what it is we should be building, then we'll get on it and build it. So this has worked really well for us. We kind of like make time to have those discovery pieces, and we try to get all the team to join in those processes. We did the mistake a little bit at the beginning in which, when we were trying to find the right audiences to do some of these discovery pieces, it kind of like some members of the team was doing some bits in isolation, and that again didn't really work. So that's why we came up to stick to this truly agile roadmap and way of working. So that's it really. So just to recap, remember to account for discovery and delivery when you're planning your work streams. Remember they are not different stages. It's just an ongoing process, both of them. Make sure that you have a very clear release strategy. So whenever you are releasing to learn something, be very clear about that. Be very clear about what is it you want to learn when you are putting these code or these physical products out there. And when you know you need to actually hit a business outcome, don't shy away of putting things out there that will give you that business outcome. And lastly, remember is two types of work, but they should be done by one unified cross-functional team. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you very much. It was awesome. Thank you. I don't think we'll have time for Q&A, but please come to Cheryl. She'll love to talk to you. We'll have time afterwards. We eat pizza and drinks and everything. So yeah, we come to our time. I think I can just...
Shameless plug, we're hiring. So if you're interested in trying out how to participate on more discovery and delivery processes in a very experimental way, come talk to me. We're looking for designers.